La, 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 la. I used to listen to my dad warn, you know, as an opera singer.
Oh, yeah. The shake the voice.
So, you know, I studied with the legendary Canadian drum teacher Jim Blackley out of Toronto. And one of his very favorite drummers was Jake Hanna, and they were friends. And so he'd make sure to, he'd insist, quite frankly, Jake Hanna's in town, you got to go see, and I'd be there, and he'd be there, and it was a hang, and I got to meet Jake. And then years later, out here in LA, I brought in Jake Hanna just at the end to feature at my drum hang.
Yeah.
And he showed up, and he had a shirt with fish on it, and it was kind of cool, you know. And he was not well enough at that point to even play, but he was there, and it was such a neat kind of completion of my Toronto, LA, with Jake Hanna bringing it all together. And every time I see a picture of him in a magazine, he's wearing a fish shirt. It's a thing. I noticed it, and it's like that's a different shirt, but I never got a chance to talk to him. But so I think of Jake Hanna, who was a beautiful player. You should check him out if you're not familiar with his playing. Jim Black just loved Jake's cymbal time, and just as one aspect of his playing. Anyway, so I've got this Richard Wilson singles exercise, but I was thinking of maybe morphing it. We'll make it something of our own here. Let's see. I'm gonna keep exploring. Want to get in singles as much as possible, because singles are, as I've said, Richard Wilson would say that singles are a route to really getting the technique, right? So, let's see. Now, out of interest, do you have one of these soft touch pads, a non-bounce pad?
Yeah, I have the moon gel, I think, one there.
Okay. Why don't you pull that up? Because that way we won't be able to rely on any rebound, right? It's the Buddy Rich idea of practicing on a pillow. And therefore you can't rely on the force provided by the surface, because the surface has its own force.
Right.
And for singles, what we want to learn to do is turn our wrist and not rely on rebound. That's another way to play singles. Oh, you pull your fingers for singles. That's another way to play. But he's got the tape on the gel pad too.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Live by the tape.
I live by the tape. Okay. So let that be a lesson to all my students. Live by the tape. All right. So now, is it really the right height? How's that lining up? Is it a little low, maybe, or your ankle shape, or maybe it's just the Go ahead.
Yeah, it's about the same height, I think, as the pad was, the snare.
Tiny bit lower.
It's around navel height right there.
Well, we'll find out as we go along. But okay. So, and it might just be your relationship. Square yourself off to the camera.
Yeah.
Square yourself off to the camera as much as possible. That helps me get a better view of what's really going on. Okay, so So Dick has, he's written it as 37. What does like 16th note? Where are we? Huh? Shit. So we're going from like da, 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 da. What's up here? Da, 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 da. I can't help but think of Blood, Sweat, and Tears spinning wheel. Da, 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 which is a metric modulation.
That's right, yeah.
Which we worked on. Da, 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 da. I haven't heard it for so long. Da, 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 da. I guess think of 16 triplets. Okay, so no.
Oh,
That worked for you at 60.
60.
Okay. So we're playing 16th notes.
So it's 1 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 1
Oh,
E.
just go into 16th note. 16th note triplets. We're not done.
Let me get this.
So you have your metronome on as a reference.
1 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and
16th triplets.
1 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a. We slowing down then, right? And 1 E and a 2.
Faster. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. How would you want to count that?
So I'm already lost already. So it's 1 E and so it's a straight 16ths here. 1 E and a 2. And then we're going to
triplets.
1 E and a
back to D. 1 bar, 2, 3, and a 1, 2. So 4 counts of the click. That's a bar of 4, 4.
Yeah.
A bar of 4, 4 of the 16th note triplets.
Yeah. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and hold on.
It's right out of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. You have to be able to play this.
1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a.
Okay, that's a little tricky for you. So let's listen.
I can't count it really. Yeah.
That's cool. And this is slow. Well, that was a little faster earlier, right? So So this hand is just doing this, right? That's all it's doing. 1 and 1, 2, 3, 6 in each hand. Try. Just one hand. Oh, it's doing. It's not quite what you thought.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those
1, 2,
6 in each hand, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2. So it's going from 2, right? It's just 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Dot, 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 1, 2. It's
1, 2,
not
3,
6. 3. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, so
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2,
All it is.
1, 2, 1, 1, 2,
Not that much faster.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3,
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Count the one hand out loud.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2.
Try to get them nice and even. Same height from turn.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Make the right left. Don't make the hand sounding loud.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Okay, now you get it. All right. Now, just sit up nice and straight. The camera might be just slightly tilted. That's what I mean. But
Yeah, nice little crooked there.
just a little Alice in Wonderland, but that's cool. So now count the left hand. And see if you can not make that louder than the right. The hand that you're counting shouldn't be louder.
Right lead still starting with the right hand though?
No, start with the left now and count the left.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1.
Coming along. Okay, now, very good. Now let's take a, not bad. Coming along. Let's just talk about that real. You might want that kind of, it's definitive, that metronome sound.
Yeah, I was trying to experiment with a new sound.
It's okay. It just might be just a little loud as we go along. If you can control just a little.
Go back to the old school.
It's up to you. If that's, I just wanted you to be aware of a time that we're doing that you can be relative to, right?
Right.
and so what we're thinking about is this feeling of the way the stick has what is a fulcrum potential. And with palm down, with this technique, we're thinking of the fulcrum, we're actually experiencing, because it's really about what's actually happening, not about even our description of it. It'd be helpful if the description was accurate. But you see, there is this place in the hand, which is the first knuckle, middle finger, and there's this place on the stick where the two intersect, right? And then we put the first finger and thumb on. So we've got that place of intersection, which Richard Martinez, for instance, calls fulcrum potential, right? But we're not accessing that fulcrum. We're not expecting the stick to rock over that fulcrum, which it'll do as we go along and start to get into rebounds, which maybe we'll do today. We'll see, right? Because it will do this at a certain point. But right now, we want to know where that place is, even though we're not accessing it for rebounds. And so we build our grip and we put our first finger, pad of the thumb, the first knuckle of the first finger on the stick. Your grip looks beautiful. And then every time I land, I want to feel it right there. I feel that place. Every time I land, I feel it here. Every time I land, I feel the stick here. And with the kind of grip, it's not so tight that I can't feel this. Can you do that?
What is it?
I'm following through. We're not doing this right now, but the hand should be in a condition where this is available. There you go. So watch. The stick kind of goes down parallel, doesn't it? Just turn to the surface and touch and don't go any further. But not your arm. You'll spoil. It won't work. It's the wrist that is attached to the fingers. And the fingers are connected to the antecubical fossa, and antecubical fossa is connected to the shoulder bone, and so goes the song or the old phrase. But so if we do this, we won't feel this. It has to be from the wrist. And so we don't push our arm down, or you'll spoil. You see, this won't happen if you're busy doing this. There won't be any release of the fingers. Okay, so when we have a stick in our hand, we're just going to touch, and then we have our 3-finger grip. We have everything I described. Where do you feel the stick at the butt end?
Right here.
It's touching, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't it be touching? We're not throwing our hand. We're not doing anything. We're just lowering the stick via the wrist to the surface with a relaxed arm now. If you're holding your arm out here and doing this, I don't know if it'll work. Maybe. It's okay. So we're just going to touch. Nice and easy too. Just touch. No, go down nice and slow. Like slow motion. Like a kata. Okay, and you touch and just leave it there. I can feel it on the middle finger. I can feel the pad of the thumb. I can feel the first knuckle of the middle finger of the first finger, and I can feel it just gently touching the palm. Now, if I roll forward further, I feel. I'm not going to tell you. You tell me what you feel. I want you to feel this. What happens? Don't do anything with your arm. Just bend a little further. Just keep going. See what happens. See? Where's the butt end now?
Away from the palm, definitely.
The distinction is, however, I think that you've lifted, but you're getting there. You've got the right idea. I want you to feel this, because I think that this is cool to feel as it relates to singles. Set up for traditional here. Okay. Something like this. But anyway. Okay. So what we have happening is we're at the floor. We're a 1/2 inch parallel bead to butt end from the plane surface, and we're just going to touch. And nothing's happened. Now, if I continue to bend, the stick, unlike yours just now, you're in the right vicinity, but I think you were doing this. I think this angle of your stick change. The stick has a quality of going down parallel.
Okay.
And it's come away from the palm. So this should always be available. The hand should never be so tight that you wouldn't be able to feel that if you wanted to. More like that. And then watch what happens when you come back up. Everything returns to where it was. It's this perfect machine. So we touch, it comes away a little, goes down parallel. It looks very flat, doesn't it? And then we're going to bring it up off the surface. It won't come up, the bead won't come away from the surface until the butt end touches the palm, and then it leverages it back to where it started. You're getting the idea. Now, just with that feeling in your body, now do that in the left and condition your left to feel that. Just get to know that in terms of the muscle memory and in terms of your psychological awareness, intellectual awareness. This holistic thing that goes on, which is what's so beautiful about art. It's not just math. It's not just the brain. Right? And that was just looking good. Yeah, you see? Don't do anything with your elbow. Just lower and bring it back. Don't lift it up to the ceiling. Just feel that and come back. Lift it up off the surface. Just lift it back off the surface. Go back down. Feel it come away from the palm. Feel it go down. Now bring it back. Comes up right there. You're done. You did it. Look, your arm's not doing anything. Your hand is flexible enough to feel that. You haven't lost your fulcrum. And this, as I was about to say, that's the distinction. One of the things that was, I recall, different about Murray's approach to teaching as opposed to Richard Wilson's approach, which is Murray would say, I teach through the brain, because it's your brain that tells the hands what to do. And Wilson said, well, maybe, but sometimes I don't even want to talk about what you're doing. I just want you to feel it. So there's two seemingly divergent worlds, and so, but you felt it, and I think you understand it. Okay, so the hand has that kind of feeling, and so this grip, so that every time we turn, we feel it right in the middle finger, has the ability to do this. Okay, so go ahead. Singles again. This time, let's take it up to, let's see what you can pull off here. Put it up to 72 and see what happens. I'm making this up. I'd have to play this myself. Sure. Just how Dick would write these exercises. He'd be on his pad and he'd be, no. Turn on that one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, is, can you get the sound even?
Yeah.
We don't want this. We don't want which is where this can go. That's where this stuff is really cool, because now you move one hand to a different sound source. Suddenly you have drum set stuff going on, right? Little thing I want to get to it. But so one hand eventually could be the dominant, but right now we want to learn how to not make one hand dominant. And by the way, as soon as you move one hand that is not dominant, where the two are equal to one another, to another sound source, you're going to hear a distinction. It doesn't necessarily need to be louder. That's one of the tricks to playing great drum set.
Right.
These patterns will happen just by moving your hand over. And suddenly you get this other beautiful timbre from another sound source. So we want them to sound the same. Now you can think about your grip. Think about where it's landing. Where do you feel that stick in the hand every time you make contact with your gel pad? Keep the left turning. The hand is the same. The impact should be the same in each hand, shouldn't it? If you're playing one hand louder, it'll feel different in your hand. Now maintain the same height. Your left right's a little higher than your left. So decide how high you're going to turn. 6-inch turn maybe right now. Where's that landing? When you get to the surface, is it landing on the middle finger? Okay, go ahead and put the metronome up too. How crazy. It's nothing. It's 92. Go ahead and put it at 92. You see how easy that looks? Because it's not that big a deal. And you're really not turning that fast. It's nice and easy. Oh, you're almost there. Okay, so I want you, that's cool. Okay, so I want you, though, to spend some time on your own, evening the volume out so that one hand sounds, we're trying to get the hands to sound the same.
All right.
Which is really something when you're in traditional grip. Another hand is running, the stick is running through the hand differently. And we're trying to get that same tone, but with a different grip, which is one of the reasons Dick Wilson said he used to like the traditional grip, because he could never quite get them the same. He enjoyed that somehow. So good. So we'll get, maybe one day we'll get there. So good. So you're like, you can make 92, but relax your arms, because remember how relaxed the arm was, so that you could do this. If you're like this, and this, nothing works. You spoil the way the human simple machine functions. If you tighten up any one of the assembly, it's like having, a factory assembly line, and suddenly one of the bearings breaks. The whole thing's, you're done. They have to shut it down and go fix that, and then the machine can run again. So if we break down one of the fulcrums in the body, for instance, it will interfere with how the other fulcrum or fulcrums functions. So something to keep in mind. Cool. So that's my take on a Dick Wilson singles exercise, which was cool for you. Now, I know we were doing, we were working on up and down strokes.
Yeah.
Right? And I had you on Murray's up and down strokes. How did that come along? Want to just take a quick look at that?
Yeah, the 6/8 up and down. Yeah, it's still it's not getting there. To still work on the coordination a little bit,
Well, then perhaps what we'll start with, which was really hanging you up, because what I ended up doing was creating an exercise that had to do with the Flam accent number 1.
Right. Yeah. 2 to 1, and
I connected it to the 6/8. Right.
Right.
Okay, so let's get to the Murray's feedback up and down through that exercise I created, which seemed to help you understand where the up is in the Flam accent number 1.
Yeah, I see how they're all connected now. So it's all really the same thing. It's just when you place those little taps and everything. So yeah, it's all
cool. Yeah. So where are you at there?
I was just free form. I don't know.
Let's go with that. What? Put it at 60. 60 seems to be a good starting tempo today. Now let's go back to a regular program, shall we? Let's go back to the bounce pad.
Yeah.
You want to be careful on that non-bounce pad that you don't overblow and hurt yourself just so you can hear yourself.
Yeah.
There can be that propensity. So, all right. So that we were somewhere in there. So, let's see, how am I going to do this? Okay. So it really, typically, if you look at the library, and it's how this technique is typically taught, the library is not always in the same chronological order as my lessons, for instance, with Richard Wilson. But what you have is a chronology that makes sense to me. The Flam accent number 2, it has fewer notes than the Flam accent number 1. So it would seem like the appropriate stroke to begin with. And as you were just saying, now all we do is to bridge over to the Flam accent number 1, we just add a note. That's all that's happening. Tap, 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 tap. There's no upstroke here. Not yet, not at this speed. Now, check this out. You've got, okay, keep going, keep going. Go to 6/8, Spivack. Notice that see what the upstroke is? Because now there is an upstroke. Now we're going to talk about, so you've got Murray, up, see the up is up, the up is in the same place. But now we're going to talk about how you're playing it. Because for me, it's cool, you're in the right direction. This is, you know, you come from having played other instruments and you haven't been studying that long. So it's looking good, right? So now, but we're gonna go deeper.
Yeah.
So remember this thing that you felt today where you went like this? Yeah, and then you came back like that. Yeah. See, you could consider making a throw just for remedial purposes. See, you do this. I've gone up. I've gone up. See how little arm is involved? You don't need to lift it up. Watch. You're not lifting your arm at all. In fact, you're kind of thinking of everything going down. It just happens that see, your wrist has gone up and the stick hasn't at all. The stick is totally flat. Yeah, but you've gone up. So you didn't need to lift your arm to do that. Now cock your wrist to make a throw from there. Whoa, yeah, see? It's a little different than you thought. Watch. You do that. Let's leave it on the surface for now. It's remedial. No, don't go lifting up the butt end. It's this that's going to come up, and we're not trying to lift it up. It happens by mistake or without you even noticing. A kid wouldn't even notice, right? And now you're just going to cock your wrist. Like that. Yeah, you see that's what you've actually thrown it. You don't need to do this. Watch. See, even though this kind of looks right.
Right, yeah.
See it bending, and you see, this is arm. If I'm going to go up and not do what I showed you, what I want to get happening is, because here it's the butt end's come away. If we just go up Thusly, you leave the bead down, and you don't feel much different than this. You're just going up. You're going up here, just like that. That's it. And then you cock your wrist. You see, you don't do all that other stuff. That's it. You don't have to lift it at the end. Once you're up, like that, and it all just collapsing back down. You don't have to do anything. Okay, so try playing the stroke with that in mind. See, that was a good throw. We should memorize where that is in your lesson. Okay.
So
Box the arms or they won't work, right? If your arms are like this, you're never going to get anything. Everything has to be loose. It's already better. It's already better. Just think of that little thing you did. Holding the stick with the guide, first finger and thumb. It's sitting in that middle finger. It's ready to do that thing if you wanted to, but we're not doing that yet. Yes, your arms are moving less, even less on the left. You don't have to lift up in the left, just like that. But then cock your wrist. It's a wrist. Come on, cock your wrist. Like that, see? You don't have to lift up very much, but you have to cock your wrist. Yeah, way better. Don't go lifting your arm in the right now. Stay nice and low, get low. Because if you start coming up, you'll end up having to use your arm to get back down. Lift with your arm, you're going to need the arm to come down. Flam action number 2. Oh, number 1. Up, stay nice and low. Okay, stop playing. Just stop for a sec. Let's just find the floor. We have to find the floor. That means we come up and we find the floor. There you go. There you go. Now to Murray. He's nice and relaxed. No extraneous motion. There you go. Just don't forget to cock your wrist. You don't need to do much with your arm, but you do need to turn your wrist. Okay? All right. Good. Okay. We could go faster, but right now I want you just to get the technique aspect of because these strokes are about finding ways to test our technique, right? And so at this tempo, you're kind of probably have you take it up maybe to 72. Can you do it at 72? Let's see what happens at 72. Don't forget to turn your wrist, but it's so tiny in here, isn't it? You don't have to shove down, you just turn your wrist. Okay, go into, stay nice and low, remember the floor, how it felt when you just came up and found this. See, all you're doing is not much. Just this, really just this. Then you can add whatever you want to the track. But really, the core essence is this. Just play the wrist string, the throw. Just the throw. Just the throw. Get in touch with the actual true essence of this stroke. But it's each hand, it goes back, so you're not in touch with it, because it goes back and forth. That's all it is. Now get your technique together. Don't lift your arm. Right? None of it. Once you get that together, everything will work. There you go. See? Now you can add whatever you want. You're not down at the floor. You can add little taps. But if you don't have that, you got nothing. Beautiful. Now go and play the Flam accent number 2. See? You're already there. You just the throws. Start with the throws. Just the throws. That's all it is. To the floor. To the floor. Grip. To the floor. Now you can add your little taps. It's nothing. Tap, 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 tap. While the other hand's waiting. Look, just waiting there. Waiting, waiting. Now go back to throws. See how the hand that makes little taps is just waiting. Right's waiting, left's waiting, just waiting, just waiting. It can make little taps. Play alternating flams. Play alternating flams. Don't lose your throw. Go back to just the throw. Just the throw. Come on, all the way to the floor on the right. All the way. Come on, get the throw together, Buhl. There it's coming. There it is. Now play flams. Alternate. Just drop the one stick. Just drop it. The throw won't change. Go back to the throw. Go to Murray. Keep that throw. Keep that throw. Tap, 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 triplets. Keep that throw. Oh, come on. Don't lose it. That's all it is. You're on the drums. You're just going to be going wham, wham, and you can put all this stuff in between and you won't lose the essence of the arc. See? The throw's gone. Come on, back to the throw. Got to go back to the throw. This is cool. I busted you. It's good, though. We're not faking this. We want to play this correctly so you can start to really speed it up. That's easy.
I can't transition.
This is a really good exercise for you.
Yeah, it's so simple, but it's just
okay. So 72 is your top speed. Put it back down to 60. This is your new exercise. It's very simple. I'm going to have you go from playing throws and rotating through Flam accent 2, 1, and Murray. I don't like your throw. You got your throws all army again. Right? You go from being kind of like lurch to the world's fastest sprinter. So you don't want to start doing this. You just know there ain't going to be much speed if you keep doing this. You ain't going to get to the finish line doing this. That's right. Just a little bend forward. There you go. You got it. There. Okay. All right. There you go. Good. Let's see. What can I have you? What can I have you do? All
right.
Let's see. You have Murray Spivack's book now? You have
Spivack?
No, not Murray Spivack's book.
Oh, stick control?
Although it feels like it's Murray Spivack. Yeah.
Yeah.
George Lawrence Stone. Pull that out.
Yep.
That's a real compliment to both of them, quite frankly.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we touched on something today, so I'll follow through with that. We've got your singles coming along. We have your grip coming along, and you're able to, and your ability to identify where you feel the stick in your hand. That's starting to happen. So it seems like it's a good time to dovetail what I showed you into Murray Spivack's approach to teaching page 5 of stick control. I don't believe we've looked at this today.
No, we haven't cracked this open yet.
Okay, so this is your first glimpse into stick control. Really the drummer's Bible, the holy grail of literature. Okay. So if you look at number 9, you'll see that you'll see if you look at my stick control, in pencil up top, you'll see Murray's markings.
Yeah.
And below that are Dick Wilson's markings, and you'll see check marks, and you'll see check marks along the side of exercises 9 through 13. Now here's where Murray and Dick would disagree. Murray would have me up 80 to 84, and Dick was at 72 to 80. So, and what's tricky about now we're going to get into, if you look at, we're looking at 9 through 13, or at least 9 through 12. We'll see. And if you look at 9, you'll see 3 rights and a left, over and over. We're in cut time. See how nice your wrist turns are coming? But that's not how we're going to play it. Now you see, that's what's cool. And we could play it. We could go through the whole thing just as wrist turns, or throws and wrist. There's different ways we could approach it, or a different approach to snare drum technique. Some other approach to technique might not have you do what I'm about to show you. So this is how we learned to play stick control, via this technique. So if you put the metronome on 72, here's where you'd be introduced to rebound, Now, Murray and Dick would have you make a little throw to help to relax your elbow, sticking out. Nothing will work. This is just going to spoil everything. So, where am I here? Let's try it at 60. See, this is what's interesting about Jason. This is what's interesting about teaching and learning this idea of rebounds, because if it's, turn your metronome off just for a sec. If the metronome is too slow, the speed is too slow, it'll be more difficult. Rebounds typically become more difficult as you slow down. And at a certain speed, maybe they become more difficult when they go really, maybe, right? But really having control over the spectrum of rebound is a big deal. And it's typical that something really slow would be played on the wrist, like you were playing it. But at a certain speed, it becomes so much easier not to have to turn for every note. We just, once again, it's just this, da, da. It's that little throw again. Really, all this, I'll approach it this way with you. This seems to work. It's still at 60. It'll probably still rebound and give you time to think, or we might have to speed it up. So all it is, this is all that's happening. Look, throw. It's not a very loud throw, is it? It just helps to provide momentum. All right, see if you can do that. And while we're getting more advanced now.
It's too fast.
See, it's hard to manage slow rebounds, isn't it? Now here's how you're gonna think of it. You're getting there. You're getting there. Here's how we're gonna think about it. As well as this idea of just learning the motion. It's just this over and with the left or without the left doing that. Or if it's going the other way, it'd be this, all right? So, but turn off your metronome again. Like the Energizer Bunny. It has got that. They're using that sound or that sample. Remember this? See, Dick would say, now what we want to be careful is you can spoil a student's playing if you don't explain this properly, or perhaps approach it at the right timing. We don't want to throw our fingers open. Everything, the whole thing is wrist-centric. Fingers open because of the wrist. The wrist leads the motion up. The wrist is turning thusly. It's all wrist, which makes the whole thing much simpler as well. Now, because we're not manipulating this much heavier part of the body. Okay? It's one way to look at it. And so, by learning to land open, as Dick would say, right? Because you see, for a throw, tell me what happens. You're not landing open. Just make a little throw. After the first one, you're going to feel ever such a little bit of relaxation. And then there is a little bit of closure, isn't there, when you land? But if you don't leave everything alone, there it is. Now you feel a little open, a little tiny bit closed. Maybe. Barely. I shouldn't have even turn it to this cock of the ceiling. Feel that. Just a little. Not too much. Just time it. Kind of. Nick would say you have to get the timing. The timing so the whole thing comes to the end at the same time. Oh, just want to land open. But if you land too hard, so make the throw again. Go back to the throw and land. Dick Wilson would typically write would be a stenoto, which is not an accent. It's just a little dot. So this throw is going to be very small and not with the intention of creating a lot of force. Don't turn quite so high now. We're making it just a little less, but you got to come up the way you did, like that. Not bad. There you go. Now just land open and let it rock over the middle finger. Don't change your throw. You had it. That's what it's going to feel like. There it is. Oh, almost. No, you got to make that little throw. Land open and feel it rock over the middle finger. Keep track of the tape. Your throw there's coming. Now the other hand. It's coming. Da 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 da. Come on, land open. Means you have to land open. Land open.
So now to control speed, you just gotta
go
less, a little slower, or turn slower.
We don't want to turn too fast. We want to turn nice and even. Now just do this, and let the stick die on the surface and land nice and open, and on that middle finger. Remember, I showed you this. Just land and feel it on the middle finger. There it is. Don't lose it up here in the guide. Just maintain your guide. There it is. It's bouncing slowly now. Don't throw too hard, and nice and the timing of the throw is nice and slow. It's a slow throw. Almost. See why it should be a little faster? You're almost getting it.
Yeah.
See, there you go. Metronome 72. See if you can do it. Little throw, land open, feel it in the middle finger. Remember this thing. And a little more open, and don't throw too hard. Nice and easy. If you throw too fast, it'll bounce faster. There. Oh, yeah, dude. Go the other way. This is something you're going to have to work on your own. But that's it. You got the idea. Now remember the throw. You can't be shoving down. That throw is there. So you're back. You're back. Look at you. Land open. Remember this thing. The left isn't going to be doing this. The right isn't going to be doing this. The right's holding onto the stick and feeling it land in the middle finger like a regular wrist turn. All right, dude. Okay? You're nice and relaxed. You're making motions. You start to get the feeling of landing open. You start to get in touch with, as I remember Marie saying to me, as I struggled along. I was pretty young at the time, And I just remember, Kevin, what we need to do here's I need to help you. I need to educate your middle finger. You wanted to educate my middle finger, but it's a big deal. So that's what we're doing. We're educating your middle finger. But it's not the middle finger. It's not fingers. It's from the wrist. Good. Turning off the camera.